Folks, I'm going to cut straight to it. This video is really about the one message that health experts overwhelmingly, resoundingly, unflinchingly agree on, and it is this.
Stay at home and not to leave the home unless you absolutely have to.
I really want people to stay home.
Stay at home.
Largely we're staying at home.
Please stay at home.
Please stay at home for me.
Oh no, there's more.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home. Stay home.
Stay home, please.
And that does not include the thousands of doctors who signed an open letter calling for a dramatic limitation of physical contact by requiring all people to stay home. Whether it is here or in the myriad other countries facing this pandemic, the message from clinicians, from public health experts, from nurses, from hospital workers, even the message from politicians right now is:
you must stay at home except for the following reasons: shopping, medical care, exercise, for work and education if you cannot work or learn remotely.
I know that staying home will be harder for some more than others. And I know that it is so much easier said than done. I know that. We all know that because we're all having to do it. My husband is filming this in our lounge room right now. He's the only person I've seen in 2.5 weeks. So, it's not great. But the reason why this is overwhelmingly, resoundingly, unflinchingly the advice of medical experts is because at this point, in addition to widespread testing and strict quarantine measures, staying home is the best chance we have of limiting the spread of the virus. And here is why. According to experts, one person with COVID-19 infects up to 2.5 people. Now that might not seem like much, but watch how this plays out. Those 2.5 people will then go on to infect 2.5 people each. Each of those people will then go on to infect a further 2.5 people. By the time this happens tenfold, guess how many people are infected? 9,500. You staying home could prevent almost 10,000 people from being infected with the virus. Now, I recognise that the federal government's messaging over this in the past few weeks has been very confusing. Shopping centres are open, but retail stores are closed. Is that right? You can have 5 people at your wedding, but 10 people at your funeral. I don't get that. You can get your hair cut, but you can't get your eyebrows waxed. We need essential workers, but an essential worker is anyone with a job. Are we still going to the football? Just park all of that for a second. The best advice I have seen on how to proceed in this time is this.
I think a good way of doing it is to imagine that you do have the virus, yeah, and change your behaviour so that you're not transmitting it. Don't think about changing your behaviour so you won't get it. Think about changing your behaviour so you don't give it to somebody else.
Act like you have COVID-19. If you knew that you had the virus, would you be here? Staying at home is about making sure that this pandemic doesn't inundate our health system. And if you think that this is something that will happen in some worst case, far off dystopia, just look at Italy. Stay home. Tell your friends to stay home. Tell your family to stay home. And can somebody please go and wrangle all of the ethnic grandparents who survived a civil war in the old country and now think they're invincible? You need to go home. They're supposed to be self-isolating right now.